computer doesn't overheat. Oh, fuck. Welcome to Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today I'm hoping my computer doesn't overheat. I will get that fixed, though. Uh, Today, we're talking about, I remember I did a video with Nick Fuentes in it, and he's talking about, kind of talking about, like, you know, will I ever have a place in society or in politics and all that stuff? And Nick was very realistic about it, in my humble opinion. He sounded like he's being realistic about it. But there are people that are doing their own thing in regards to making their own communities. And I guess I just want to throw my 2 cents out there about it. Like, I know some people, sometimes half the people think I'm a staunch liberal. Other people think I'm MAGA. Probably further back, they thought I was some, like, strangers would think I'm a MAGA person because I'm shitting on, like, AOC or someone like that. And they're like, oh, look, you burn it. Yeah, go worship your king MAGA Trump guy. I'm like, yeah, did you watch my last video? Like, my last video, I was shitting on him. I don't care about your last video. You're serving the purpose of the MAGA crew. But, anyways, before I get started, don't forget to share, support, hopefully donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them. I need to change that up. I say it way too often, you know? All right, click the links, read them a little bit, you know? Read them, check out on them. You know? Then, like, all right, maybe my mom or my dad or my sister, my brother, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, someone, my spouse, someone. Maybe someone will like, ooh, this is interesting. This is something I care about deeply. Let me look into it further. Even if maybe the GoFundMe's done or whatever, or reached its goal, I think it's still important to just go over stories of different people. That's why I leave them there. Right? Or if you don't have money, like, you still, like, read the stories, or if you know someone, you can share them. Like, that's why they're there. And obviously, if they take donations, even if they reach their goal, fuck it, why not? Who gives a fuck? You know? Why not, bro? Sometimes you got a punk rock life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, all links in the description box. Check them out. Thank you. All right, so I saw this video. I saw Kyle did a video, and I assume he's going to have a horrendous take on this. I mean, it'll sound correct because he's a man of the times. Like, oh, look at these racist people, right? But I like to do something first before I don't. First of all, I don't call anyone racist. I don't really. I understand what the word means, but I don't really like. I don't think of it that way. I look at it as dumb, right? It's like, oh, you're just so ignorant of, like, other people, maybe because you don't experience them or you had a bad experience with, like, you know, particular individuals from a different race or whatever, and thus you use that to judge everyone. Or sometimes it could just be pride or vanity of, like, your own aesthetics, and you think because, you know, you're white that all of a sudden you're Larry Bird too. Like, no, you're not Larry Bird. Like, you're not. That's not you. I understand the idea of white culture, but that's not white culture. That's basketball culture, right? If you're some dude who's never dribbled a fucking basketball in his life, that's not your fucking culture. That's for basketball players, right? So I don't know why you're adopting it as your own. Or same thing with any other race, you know, a black guy adopting Michael Jordan's career. Like, yeah, this is our culture. Like, no. If you don't play basketball, then no, it's not. But if you play ball, then yeah, sure, that's like your culture. But if you're a skater or something, it's more like Tony Hawk is like your culture, or, you know, any of these fucking skater dudes. Rodney Mull, is that his name? Fuck, he's like one of my, like, favorite guys. Like, aesthetically, watched him skateboard and shit. Like, it's cool. I think it's Rodney Mullen. But I might be fucking his name up. The inventor of the kickflip. Let's call him that guy. I'm not too heavy of a skateboard guy, but I like the style of it. It looks cool. Anyways, as I jibber jabber, let's hear about this random community of, I guess, a whites only town in Arkansas. And what I'm looking for, essentially, is authenticity, which to me is more important. For me, more important to look at with people than their ideology. It's like, do you believe in your ideology? Because if you're full of shit, you're just mind melting and manipulating people. You're not actually a part of that ideology, so thus you can fuck right off. I'd rather hear real people saying real things. Even though this news reel is probably not going to give me that, but I can just I can imagine if they really believe in what they're doing, and then we'll see. I'll say what I say, I guess, and anyone else in this Discord. But all right, without further ado, as you can see from NBC News, in Ozark Mountains, Arkansas, here we go. The whites only community. Here we go.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills, in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z. This is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that
And it's like, well, what does the culture mean? Is it polos and jeans? What's your culture? I don't understand. I'm pretty sure Kanye made that shit pop. Polos? Am I tripping? I don't know. I don't know what does he mean by culture there, but I'm sure this guy's not going to ask questions. And also, this dude looks like the leader of Return to the Land, Eric Orwell. He looks like the dude that interviewed Nick Fuentes, but I'm not going to say they're the same person. I have no idea.
And that is
It's
just
natural eyeshadow, eyeliner.
Our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that?
So before he goes there, I'm going to be pausing because it's a 2-minute video, so I might as well say my shit. But white American culture, I don't know what that is exactly. What is that?
He doesn't know what it is. Because, right? Like, the only distinguishing thing, okay, we'll put American culture, which is really anything that makes up the people that are there. So,
Yeah.
white is the only thing that really distinguishes what he said. Because American culture changes. It's not exactly one thing. And it's made up of the people who are Americans. So, I don't really think he knows what culture means.
Well, what is their favorite music? What's their favorite food? Or what's their iconic white American food, white American music,
I don't even know
etc.,
what that means
etc.?
anymore. Because it doesn't mean Italian, right? Or Irish, or French, or German. Like, what do they mean by white? What does that fucking mean? Then you tie it to culture. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Does it mean hot dogs and hamburgers? Is that what he means? But that's like everyone eats that, right? In America, at least.
I think they're just throwing culture in there just so they don't say just white. It's like,
So okay, so you're saying it's an excuse to just have like aesthetically white people only.
I mean, they may believe that it means something, but if you really scrutinize it, if you remove the requirement of right white, then the culture is very malleable. It's not a specific thing. And so if they are talking about something specific, maybe like some people say Christian, et cetera, they might have something specific, but
Okay.
they're not saying that, right? Because if you were outside of those specific things and you were white, is that okay? They're not really being clear right there.
The only thing I can think of, Jesse, would be like just be like a British colony in the middle of America. Like that's what I would understand. Is like if you want to go like white, I guess be British, right? Would that be it? Because you can't say Italian, right? There's no way you say Italian. That doesn't work, right? There's no way you say Irish either. I don't think.
They not in the early part of the country.
Yeah, like the
They're
origins
separate.
of these guys being in America, right? There's no fucking way you say those two, right? Because those guys were treated as
Yeah.
second-class citizens when they first got here, right?
Yeah.
So that they don't mean them. So I assume it's like just like British, right? Maybe they listen to, like Ed Sheehan or something. So they jammed, they jammed the Queen or something. The Beatles. Hey, look, we did that. You didn't do that. Like Paul McCartney, John Lennon, like those guys did that. You guys didn't do that. And they'd also be like, yeah, you're not using our music. We're keeping our music over there. Not saying that's the right thing to do. I'm saying that's probably what they would do. Right? They'd be like, yeah, keep our music away from your shit. But not then, yeah. I don't know. I don't know exactly what any of this stuff means. Essentially, in fact, I've had I think the guy, he didn't chicken out. I think I offered to talk, like early days of Yellow Brick Road. I offered to talk to this guy where he had an idea of souls, of like there's white souls and black souls and Puerto Rican souls and German souls and Mexican souls, and like your actual soul, like your spiritual shit, is actually racially based as well, which I found pretty weird. I actually had an interesting conversation. Like we actually talked about like Jungian psychology and all that stuff. I assumed he thought I was stupid because of other reasons other than my words, reasons that had nothing to do with my words. I think he might have assumed I was not intelligent enough to hold the conversation. I guess I don't know. I can't say I know. But all right, let's keep playing here. There we go. So white American culture. Here we go.
Sure.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
Well, I mean, you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people.
So okay. So the idea is you see like 40 people. I was like, not a lot. It's kind of the thing I was echoing in that Nick Fuentes video. But okay. Like let's say they were just, like, we just want our little community here where, but like it actually does, like Jesse was saying, like it does kind of come down to skin color, I think, because like, no offense to them, but if I was there, I'd probably be the least threatening person in the fucking place. Just being honest. Like the morals I stand by and stand with, and I'm not moving from them. Yeah, I'd probably, if something went down, I'd probably be the safest person like to be around. Probably more than anyone there. Or as much as, at the very least. To us, it's like, it's not about character or content of character. It's actually is about race. It's like, oh well, we don't want your looks around. When it should be about, honestly, it should be about character, right? I'm sure you want to be around these people because you feel it's safe. And it's like, okay, but are there other safe people out there that would never harm you and you wouldn't harm them? That's what kind of kills the whole idea in the first place. But, I'm sure someone will bring up crime statistics to me, and I'm like, well, that's like 0.03% of just whatever race population. It's like not even nowhere near the majority, nowhere near halfway, nowhere near a fucking quarter, nowhere near 1% of the population of an entire ethnicity. So they got a lot of things they'd have to like negotiate to make this seem correct as a correct way to go. But also at the same time, it's just their choice. Like they can just choose to do this. Hopefully, it's not for any malicious means. Just like, oh, we just like being around people that look like us, even though no one really looks like us. Like we're all unique looking, but they just want to be around the same skin color or something. Okay, I'd be like, fine, do your thing, man. You guys need like help or anything, food, water. That's the way I would do things if I was like running like anything, the world, the government, whatever. Oh, you guys want to do this? Okay, that's your choice. You're not trying to harm anyone? Fuck, awesome. Do your thing. Not gonna get in your way. Go enjoy your shit. So yeah, it's so far I'm just like, okay. I have, like, once again, logical problems with how they got here. But if that's if that's all they see, if that's all their thinking allows them to, like, if that's the level of thinking, that's their ceiling, that's all they can get to. Like, okay, I know I'm safe because I'm around these particular 40 people. It's like, okay, fine, and that works. That's like a small, it's like a bigger family or something, or closer together family. That's fine, like the Amish or something. But all right, here we go. Let's continue.
People live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labor,
so they got
women
a lot of people
take
there.
care of the children who live here full time.
It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how
Okay, now I'm gonna be real there. If I'm walking around there, bro, I'm cleaning up, I'm cleaning the house. That's why everyone to know. Cleaning the house. But sorry. Hold it up.
physical labor, the women take care of the children who live here full time.
It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering
It's also, once again, NBC News. Like, it's not gonna be fair because they're gonna. This is also like a shorter video, but they're also gonna cut things, right? They're gonna cut things and make them look bad. Let's just be honest. If I had to guess, they would try to make them look bad. Not saying they are here. I don't know the full context of the scenario, but I'm assuming they're gonna try to make them look bad. That's my guess. But also, there are people like that where there's men who are into straight up like labor work and construction and engineering, all that shit. Typical male things, right? And you have typical female things. They want to just raise the kids and nurture and be motherly and all that stuff. If all 40 people there agree with that, what fucking problem would I have? Or whoever else is going to show up there, right? Now, here's my warning for these guys, right? Because right now I get no smell of like them being full of shit. They just maybe, in my opinion, a little silly, right? I think it should be about character more so than what you look like or your ethnicity or your religion. I think it should be more about character, like what type of person are you? But at the same time, they do their thing, fine. But they should be worried because you don't, once again, if the only thing you know about these people that are going to flood in here is race, I mean, any FBI agent can be white. Any CIA person could be white. Anyone who's there to maybe, like, not even government, just there to subvert what you're doing, they could be white and do that. Thus, that's why I'm saying, like, that shouldn't be your standard. Someone from the outside that wants to subvert what you're doing here, they want to come in and fuck it up. And then let's say you fought back against it, like, look what these terrorists are doing, these white supremacists. It's like, that's how people end up in shit. This is not a new thing of people congregating together based on whatever reason and trying to isolate from the rest of the world. And a lot of times people have been shit on. Just being honest. We've seen this throughout history. Well, let's just go with like modern American history. We've seen it. So, if these are well-meaning people that are just, in my opinion, a little silly, they need to look out for shit like that. They really do. Race is not it's not a standard of character, bro. It's just an aesthetic. It really is. Even if you believe in the idea of race and IQ being intricately connected to each other, right? Having low IQ does not mean you are all of a sudden a blatant criminal, harmful person. If you go by statistics alone, lower IQ people does not mean you are guaranteed to be a criminal. You are guaranteed to do harmful things. I think it works just like anyone else, depending on like whatever their capacity level is. It ends up being based on conditioning, which I have my own problems with, but that seems to be the overall factor for why people get caught up in crime or do something harmful to others or whatever the fuck, right? If I take a school shooter and before they shoot up the school, I can recondition them somehow, like magically recondition them, make them think that, oh, the most harmful thing you could do to people is hug them, right? Like if you shoot them, it'll put them out of their misery, but if you hug them, it'll really bother them, all right? You'll have school shooters running around fucking hugging people, right? Because the conditioning changed. That's very drastic of an example, but it kind of drives the point home of the psyche and the environmental conditioning of why people do what they do, right? At least what we see outside of ourselves, right? The actual physical action of something. Like, oh, that's probably like the conditioned response. Like, how do I cause the most harm? Right? Okay, it means gun and shoot and kill. Boom. That's the most harmful thing. I don't think that's so innate. I think that can actually be reconditioned in some way. Not saying that's a good thing at all. I'm just saying, like, that's possible. So, yeah, I think I'm just spitting shit out there, bro. Letting it fly. All right, let's continue.
Community, if you're part of the community, but if you're black or if you're Jewish or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association,
I think I'm in.
which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
That's loud. But okay. I am still lost on the culture thing. Like if they're doing like music time and someone plays the drums, they're like, stop. It's not our culture. Stop right there. And they said free moving, right? They're not here to hold anyone down, right? I hope that would include their own, right? The people that they're congregating with. If their kids or their wives or their husbands or someone's like, you know what? I thought this was going to be a good idea. I'm not liking this. You know, I want to watch NBA games. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. All right. Would that be okay? Would it be scrutinized? Would it be allowed? Like, what would happen there? Like, there's so many questions that are needed for these things that are not really based on. Because if you're a skater, right? If you're a skateboarder and you build a community off of skateboarders, it makes sense why you're there. You're there for skateboarding. But with people and, you know, their likes and dislikes of things, those are always kind of floating, or like, oh, you know, this idea of white culture, does that mean like I can't listen to hip hop music, right? What if one of these kids grow up and gets their hands on hip hop and they're like, damn, this is fucking dope, right? And they start talking like that and shit. They're like, what happens then? Like, what happens after that? Like, are they allowed to leave? Like, I don't know. Because I would assume that in the skateboarding community, if someone's like, you know what, I'm done with skateboarding, they just leave and find their other passion, right? But this thing, it's like, it's based on your skin color. You can't leave your skin color, and they're saying the whole thing's based on your skin color, and you have some sort of associated culture with your skin color. So thus, if you start listening to Biggie Smalls and want to leave, no, sorry, your skin color is here, so that's why you belong here. Right? It's like, I don't know how are they going to negotiate that, right? I assume they're okay with adults leaving and shit like that. I'm sure they understand the way it looks from the outside, right? And it's like, oh, if you're an adult, we can't just hold you hostage. You'll complain, you'll escape, you'll call the cops, you'll do something, right? You'll call it a cult and make YouTube videos about it. But if you're like a young person, let's say like a teenager, 15, 16 years old, and they get their hands on something that is outside of the quote unquote culture for them, like what happens there? Are they allowed to just like, yeah, I'm running away? Like, what do? You hold them hostage essentially because you're the legal guardians. So it's a seems like a cluster, like a waiting to erupt volcano. Let's call it that. But go ahead, Jesse, if you were saying something.
Oh, yeah. I was just surprised how they ended this. The guy said there's no room for racism in a free culture. You're also not free to be racist. It's like,
well, they're deeming it as racist, right? But
yeah,
you don't,
yeah,
we don't really know. And I can use the guy's words here, but they wouldn't be typically considered racist. Like he said, oh, we're not here to hold anyone
yeah,
down. We're here to just do our own thing over here. Now, granted, I think that's kind of
yeah.
dumb, right? It's more of maybe a Nick Fuentes idea, like racialist versus racist, I guess. I guess they're two different ideas. Uh, but
Yeah, yeah. They actually didn't say anything specifically racist. They just want to be separate. Like,
yeah, yeah, and probably for dumb reasons, but it's still like if they're not harming anyone, right? So why not? Like, go ahead. And it's like, hey, you ever want to rejoin society, the rest of society? Yeah, sure. Granted, I'm sure they can turn on their nightly news and see the destruction we do, right? Like society is at this point, from domestically to all to abroad, right? Like so,
yeah, it's like the Amish. They want to, you know, be separate, right?
yeah.
And most people look at that and be like, "Well, that's your problem." Like, go ahead.
But those guys had something that's less touchable, which is religion, right? The Amish. These guys aren't
Yeah,
using a religion as their thing. I'm sure it's part of it. It's what they would call white culture, right? Even though Jesus is like a Middle Easterner and Jewish. But maybe they don't have religion at all. Maybe they don't go that way either. I don't know. But I don't know. I can't say I know. It's like it's just gonna be certain things would be heartbreaking, right? If they somehow meet someone. I mean, granted, I'm sure it's the men that would leave the fucking area to go gather supplies or something. I'm sure it would be the men that do that, right? But like any one of them, if they somehow talk to someone that's like, oh no, this guy like they had some sort of intuitive feeling like, oh, this person's like a really nice person, like nicer than people that I know in my little community here. But they don't look they don't look right. They don't look like they fit or whatever the fuck. And it's just like, that's fucking heartbreaking, man. For all you know, you just met your best friend or the girl you should have been with or the guy you should have been with or whoever the fuck, right? So it's like just it's almost like an external expression of a not so dangerous but existentially kind of dangerous pathology where yeah maybe we're not causing havoc in the world. I'm sure NBC News will make it seem that way. At least I'm just taking the on the surface thing, right? Behind the scenes, they could be some crazy motherfuckers, right, doing crazy shit. But I'm saying on the surface, the idea of just like living on your own, like on your own with these people. Okay. Um. Fuck, I forgot my point. Fuck. See, I talk too much and I ramble and I go through too many fucking loopholes in my brain. Can't help it. Fuck, I had a point with that. Um, shit. I don't know. Whatever. I'm just gonna reiterate the same point. Uh, I think if you're gonna like isolate from other people, I think it really should be well, culturally and character based, not strictly skin color, which is what they're doing. Because even if no one speaks up, maybe you could be holding someone hostage, not physically, but just by peer pressure and all that shit. Intellectually, they may be too afraid to even say anything. Like, yeah, I want to, like, they want to say they want to leave or they want to leave themselves or whatever, but they might be too afraid to do it because of, the initial commitment to it. Hopefully, they do some psychological analysis of themselves and, you know, really make sure of things instead of it being hopefully not, an internet phenomenon, which is very possible, right? Especially if you get caught up with FBI Jared Taylor. But all right, I'm gonna leave it there. I think we said enough here. I think we showcased also that we're not looking at them as pure villains the way NBC News might portray them as. And yeah, just taking them as human beings. Silly, I think, existentially just stunted, most likely. Uh, but still, just some yokels doing their thing. But anyways, all right. There's your video. Please subscribe if you feel like. Comment whether you agree, whether you disagree. Please let us know in the comment section. Where do you stand with this stuff? Do you like once again, I have people in my Discord or on YouTube that believe in these things. Well, I'm not gonna say they believe in them, but like have hinted at like this might be an idea that they might pursue themselves, and I don't just kick them in the trash can. Like I hear what they say. I disagree to quite a large degree. I disagree with them, but I still consider what they say and what they think about things. And I think we should all do that. We shouldn't just be like, yo, racist. That means you're evil. Just throw them in the garbage. I can't do that. But you tell me in the comment section where you're at. Don't forget to share support. Hopefully, donate to all the links in the description box. Check them out, read them, share them. I did it again. I got used to the same slogan over and over again. Hey, click on the links, bitches. Share them, read them, do it, and donate, motherfucker. Do it now. Thank you. And with all that said, please give this video a thumbs down.